Welcome to Speak Fluently in English YouTube channel. This channel will help you speak fluently in English with no grammar and no textbook. I am incredibly excited because you are listening to the first episode of the Speak Fluently in English podcast. To be honest, I am aware that there are tons of resources on learning English. So maybe you are wondering right now what different about this podcast? Well, that's a fair question. There are many areas of English you can improve, but my mission is to help you speak fluently with no grammar. Hello guys. In this podcast I will give you a story, and in that story I will ask you question. All I want you to actively answer all my questions, and in a fun process you're gonna learn English very soon. If you haven't subscribed this channel, please consider this, and let's get started. In this mini story I will ask you question and you have to answer actively. So the story is this. South Africa remained under the British rule for more than 3 centuries. Which country was remained under the British rule for more than 3 centuries? South Africa were remained under the British rule for more than 3 centuries. How long South Africa remained under the British rule? For more than 3 centuries. South Africa remained more than 3 centuries under the British rule. Which country does South Africa remained under? South Africa remained under the British country. Since 1948, a very cruel policy of apartheid was followed by the white rulers. Which policy was followed by the white rulers? A very cruel policy of apartheid was followed by the white rulers. When did the policy was followed? Since 1948, this policy was followed. Who followed a very cruel policy of apartheid? White rulers were followed a very cruel policy of apartheid. According to this policy, white and non-white people were kept separate from each other. What was done according to this policy? According to this policy, white and non-white people were kept separate from each other. Who kept separate from each other? White and non-white people were kept separate from each other. Which policy kept white and non-white people separate? A policy of apartheid were kept white and non-white people separate from each other. They were educated under separate system and were kept in or out of certain areas. Were they educated under the same system? No. They were not educated under the same system. However, they were educated under different system. Were they kept in or out of certain areas? Yes, they were kept in or out of certain areas? Who kept in or out of certain areas? White and non-white people were kept separate from certain areas. The black people of Africa opposed such racial discrimination. Did they oppose such racial discrimination? Yes, they opposed such racial discrimination. Who opposed such racial discrimination? The black people of Africa opposed such racial discrimination. Did you see, guys, with the help of a story, how easy it is to learn English? So guys, this is my technique. I hope it will help you to speak fluently. All I want you to listen this podcast actively and listen it many times. Repeating is necessary. Please keep this in mind that if you are not repeating my podcast, you will not get used of it. So this is all for this podcast. I will meet you in my next podcast. Till then, take care and have a good day.